We are one step closer. The early closing disclosure has been released. You should have received a notice to acknowledge electronically from the lender. Regulators require a wait period, so please review and electronically acknowledge as soon as possible so we can stay on schedule and meet your contracted deadlines. Let me know if you have problems accessing this. The closing disclosure is a 5-page document that provides the final details of a mortgage loan, its terms, projected monthly payments, and closing costs. Lenders are required to provide this at least 3 business days prior to closing to allow time to review against the initial loan estimate and ask questions. I'm happy to review the numbers with you over the phone or a Zoom call. Why is it important to understand the CD? Costs. It provides the final exact costs and terms of your mortgage, ensuring they are accurate. Transparency. It allows you to compare the final numbers to the estimated numbers you received earlier in the process. Gives you time to review. The mandated 3-day window before closing gives you a chance to review the document and ask questions about any discrepancies before the final closing. Here's an explanation of each section of the CD. Loan terms. This section details the loan amount, interest rate, and monthly payments for principal and interest. Projected payments shows your estimated total monthly payment, including mortgage insurance and potential changes over time, and often factoring in property taxes and homeowners insurance. Costs at closing summarizes all costs you will pay when you close on the loan, such as the appraisal, title insurance, and loan origination fees. Page 2 itemizes these fees. If you are viewing a preliminary CD, expect minor adjustments as we approach the closing date, as invoices and prorations are validated. When finalized, this is the amount you will need to bring to closing. Cash to close is a summary of the total cash you will need to pay at closing, which includes your down payment and credits, minus any deposits. The closing attorney or escrow agent will provide final instructions on how to bring the funds. Here are some commonly asked questions on page 2, closing cost details. The column labeled paid by others are the items covered by the lender. The column labeled before closing are the items you paid for prior to your closing. These are not being charged again. It is for informational purposes only. The column labeled at closing are the fees you are responsible for at closing. Section F, Item 3, this is the interest to cover you until your first payment date. Your first payment will be due on the first month following 1 full month after funding. For example, if you closed on March 15th, your first monthly mortgage payment will be due on May 1st. If you closed on March 31st, your first monthly mortgage payment will be due on May 1st. Section F, Item 4. We are collecting your next taxes due. Your escrow account will pay the following payment. Section G, Initial Escrow. If the lender is paying taxes and insurance payments for you, they will require an escrow account to manage these payments and will collect 2 to 4 months to pre-fund this account at closing. This isn't a fee, it's your money, but held by the lender to make sure there's enough to pay the bills when they come due. If this is a refinance, we would have ordered a payoff for your current mortgage, and any overpayment and escrow balance will be refunded to you directly from the lender. Final notes. When the closing disclosure has been finalized, the closing attorney or escrow agent will reach out to you to provide the final closing instructions. Most will want you to wire the funds into their escrow account to be held until the sale is recorded. Note, wire fraud is real. In order to avoid wire fraud, make sure you receive the wire instructions from a validated source. Usually, the closing attorney or escrow agent will not email instructions. They will usually ask you to call their office to verbally obtain and confirm the wire instructions. Be suspicious of any alerts to change the wire instructions. Cash to close must come from the approved accounts that were submitted during underwriting. Final walkthrough. Please coordinate your final walkthrough, if necessary, with your real estate agent prior to closing to confirm the property is in the proper condition. Please update the team as soon as possible if there are any issues with the final walkthrough. We're almost at the finish line. It has been my honor to work with you. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you again.